James Britton MCV has opened up about the intensity of a program like I'm A Celebrity. "Get me out of here." The musician participated in the 2018 series of the program, alongside the likes of Fleur East and Harry Redknapp, instantly making friends for life. James, who found fame as one quarter of the band The Vamps, instantly became a hit with viewers, and he wasn't nervous about getting his kid off in front of the cameras. But despite having a physique that some dream of, James has shared the brutal toll the program took on him and admitted tasks such as walking 30 meters became incredibly tough for him. James, 30, has previously spoken openly about his struggles with body image and food and once said he lost himself due to this. The musician became obsessed with how much protein he was putting into his body and losing as much fat as possible, admitting he had an eating problem before he joined the chart-topping band. Opening up about his struggles, James exclusively told the Mirror that while he was once extremely self-critical of his body, has finally at a stage of making peace, although still has daily things which will see him think of exercise and food. However, this changed during I'm A Celebrity and saw him turn his back on his regular diet and calorie intake. The intensity of the calorie drop was really hard for everyone. "I went into that process. I definitely was in a better mental state than I was in 2013, 2014 and 2015 with food. Being in the jungle, I was miserable because of the lack of food. I would have done anything to eat everything. Coming out kind of kick-started my peculiar relationship with food again because I came out of the jungle really thin, but I thought I looked really good. I thought that was strange. I had a negative approach to my body. Looking back now, I look really gaunt, my skin was faded. I was really thin. At that time, I was like, I've got six-pack again, great." Chester-born James explained that while he was in the Australian camp, he never once considered his body looking great, but he was overjoyed when he saw his abs again after arriving back at the hotel. "The jungle definitely kick-started that weird process again, and it took me a bit of time to get over that," he said, adding, "Luckily, because I'd gone through something similar before with dealing with body image, I was able to equip myself with the techniques and people around me knew the signs to watch out for, and I was able to get better without another big kind of relapse." During his stint, James revealed he struggled to walk 30 meters in the camp due to the lack of nutrition and levels of exhaustion. He stated, "It's important to say that we were probably on 300 calories a day. You think I probably eat 3,000 a day now, and the average is a couple of thousand per day. The point is, people wanted to aspire to look like that physique. They need to see the other side of that, which I presume wasn't shown on TV. The walk from the camp to where you do the interviews in the evening is probably 30 meters. I had to stop on that walk because I was so exhausted from the lack of energy. I couldn't do it without stopping. I was knackered. So the reality of being on a diet that makes you look like that took its toll on every element of my being. I really struggled to do the basics like carrying the firewood. I was knackered. I wouldn't say that kind of diet is something that anyone should want to aspire to." James' gym routine could have easily made anybody exhausted just by looking at it, but the musician, who is currently working on solo music, admits that he's toned it down a lot. During a recent trip to South Africa, he didn't go to the gym once, but going back 6 years, he would have been depressed had he not had a workout. Although his bandmates, Bradley Simpson, Connor Ball and Tristan Evans all enjoy working out, they're not too intense or strict, which James admits is good for him. The musician admits appearing on I'm A Celeb was not to kickstart a new element of his career. The Vamps were actually at the top of their game and were preparing for another global tour. "I did that show for two reasons. I was a huge fan of that show," he said before adding, "I wanted the challenge because on paper, that show was difficult, but I'm not the sort of person that was ever the outgoing person, the person that enjoyed kind of like that physical journey. When I came out of that show, I was quiet on the show, I was anti-celeb vibes. At the crux of it, I was very happy and content, and I still am, being the guitarist in the Vamps. I came out and didn't run with the opportunity to be a celeb. I turned down a lot of interviews, a lot of brand things. It's not why I did the show. I'm grateful for doing the show. It was a challenge, mentally. But Terry's another good thing that came from the program, James' engagement to model Kirsty Britton. He proposed in January, just weeks after leaving the jungle. Reflecting on married life, the star commented, "It's been a couple of years now. I met my wife in 2014, so for the whole of my career, she's kind of been behind the scenes. At the start, she was doing her undergrad. All of us in the band have had relationships at different points, and I think Terry's something really nice about having that grounding anchor at home. Some people could get quite lost on the road while touring, but I think family ticks the box too, having a partner there and to also be able to share things with them. My wife comes to a lot of the stuff we do nowadays, it's lovely. She's best friends with the Vamps boys." Addressing a rumored split from the Vamps, James said, "We were in the studio in the summer, we're going to be doing some more stuff, we just need to get some vocals done. There's no thought process in any of our heads where we're like, oh, let's leave and pursue the solo stuff. It's been 3 years since the last Vamps album. 3 years for other bands is not that long, but I feel like the Vamps have done so many albums in such short succession that people kind of presume something is wrong." He added, "We've got a big world tour this year that started a year ago, Terry's going to be more stuff coming, it just takes time to get it right." Speaking about his solo music, he said, "With my music, I'm able to really go down the rabbit hole of exactly how I'm feeling. I'm able to write 5-minute songs, it's nice to have that musical freedom." The musician teamed up with Mind for his first solo gig in almost 2 decades after detailing his mental health struggles. James previously revealed he passed out after consuming too much cannabis. He said, "I kind of tricked myself into feeling that it was a good thing for me, a good drug, it was good for my mental health, it was good for my inspiration with songwriting." Although James admits he wasn't chemically addicted to the Class B drug, he says he definitely became addicted to the feeling of consuming it. He added, "You can draw parallels actually with my negative obsession with food and exercise. I was getting to the point where my schedules and my routines were centered around smoking cannabis. It took a big moment, which was last October when I passed out. It was a real awakening." Follow Mirror Celebs on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.
Just need